Once upon a time, long time ago, yes, there was a small town that has two parallel streets, you know, one on the left and one on the right, the two streets like this, opposing each other. And now, a dervish, you remember already, Muslim? And he happened to pass by this town. So first he went on to one street and then he walked to another street because they're parallel. You go to one street first and then you walk to another street. When he reached the second street, some people have noticed that his eyes were full of tears. And they're running down, you know, tears will keep running down. So suddenly somebody cried out and said, oh, somebody died on the first street. Because he saw the devils coming from the first street with eyes streaming, with tears. So someone on the second street said, oh, somebody died on the first street. He presumed, he thought that somebody had died. Okay. And then all the children nearby heard that, and they also joined in and said, oh, somebody died on the first street. And then they're all running back to their respective houses and saying the news, oh, somebody died on the first street, just like that. But they didn't even ask the dervish why his eyes were streaming. Can you guess why? One candy. Why?
It was windy.
Perhaps, yes, it could be possible, yes. Some people, when it's windy, their eyes streaming with tears. Or dirt, you know, anything. What else can it be?
It's down.
It's a car. My God. So serious.
He's happy?
He may be happy. Yeah, it could be. You know, when you're happy, you cry, right? Possible. What else can it be? Any cook around here? Chef?
Spicy. Onion.
Onion, yeah. But I gave you already a hint, so that's why. He was peeling onions before he went out. He probably was peeling onion, and maybe he was short of soy sauce. So he ran out to the next street in order to buy some soy sauce to cook for a Supreme Master Television. Who knows? Yeah, so in any case, that's what it was. He was peeling onions. And then he ran out to the second street. Because probably the second street, they have some shops which sells things that he needs, which did not have on the first street. Well, anyway, it doesn't explain here, but we could guess. So the dervish ran out to the second street with his eyes streaming with tears. And now, after a short time, all this screaming about somebody died on the first street reached every corner of the town. And everybody joined in. They were so upset and distressed and very confused. Because this is a very small town, and only two streets, and everybody knows everybody here. And almost like everybody is related to everybody in this small town. It's like a small family. So they all worry so much. Who could be the one that is dying on the first street? Could it be my cousin? Could it be my uncle? Could it be my aunt? Could it be my, sister or brother or in-law or whatever? Yeah, everybody was stressed. And in those days, they did not have telephone. Yeah, so they could not even call each other so fast to call whether you're okay. They just telling each other somebody died on the first street. That's it. And everybody was stressed out. And then nobody even dared to make an inquiry to who was dying and why. Why is it so much commotion? Nobody asked because they're all so busy, stressed out, and so listening to each other. Yes, somebody died, and then they go busy, go tell the other one, somebody died on the first street. And that person busy, go to tell the other one. And the whole town was full of news about this dying person. Nobody inquired about who died and why. And in town there was a wise man, and he was telling everybody, please calm down, at least go ask, why didn't you ask who died first and why? And then everybody was so, very, very stressed and confused, and they all talk at the same time, and nobody listened to nobody, and very, very noisy and chaotic, and say, all we know is just there is a deadly plague on the other street. First somebody was dying, and now there is an infectious disease going on on the next street. A deadly plague is going on. Oh my God. And as soon as they spoken thus, this rumor fly all over direction again. And everybody now knew that there's a plague, deadly disease on the first street. Then everybody, the whole population of town thinking, that's it, this is the end of the world, as predicted somewhere. Finito, plague, infectious. Oh, we are doomed. And they all start crying a lot. First they cry for the dead person, and now they're crying for themselves and the doomed future that they're waiting. And then after a long time, after all the chaos and all the crying somehow died out a little bit, and a little bit order was restored. And then two communities decided that, okay, they should talk to each other. Finally. They have not even asked nothing yet. They decided that we have to talk to each other and move the leftover person to the other community quickly before they all die of the plague. That's what they think. So they begin packing belongings and calling children and calling cow cart, horse carriage, whatever, Yeah. And then, in no time, from both of the streets, the whole population was evacuated. The title say this is how a tradition was found, the founding of a tradition. So now, even any decades later, the two streets, the town is still deserted. Nobody lives there anymore. And not so far away, there are two villages. That's probably born out of this plague. Yes. Each village has its own tradition of how it began as a settlement from a doomed town. Yes. Through a fortunate flight in remote times from a nameless evil. They all tell their story and tradition, how they found the villages. You see, this is one of the teaching found in the book of the teaching of the secret recluse in long time Muslim tradition. They just want to illustrate that people are so ignorant that they don't even bother to find out what caused what. Yes, it's very difficult to reason to them. Once they set their mind on something, even listen to false rumor, they still believe it. And then not just one person, but the whole town evacuated. The blind lead the blind, They are going away like that. And that's how a tradition has been found. Just like many, perhaps, other traditions. That's what the Master wanted to tell us in this story. This teaching was from Sheikh Kalanda Shah of the Surawadi order. He died in 1832, not long ago, right? Maybe a century ago. He still has a shrine at Lahore, Pakistan. Maybe it's not a true story, but the Master was a true person and was existing at that time. Not long ago, eh? Yeah. Can you imagine? The blind lead the blind, huh? And both go wherever. So, in this teaching, Sheikh want to tell us that we have to be discriminating. We have to use our discriminating mind to discern what is the truth and what is not. We cannot just hear from saying, It's such a matter like even moving the whole town. It's possible that this is a true story, It's possible like that. Yes, because the rumor is getting bigger and bigger all the time. And people just listen, and then they add their own imagination, and the next person adds some more imagination, then it becomes very great a disaster, and everybody moved, just like that. similar to many belief systems. People just believe anything without proof, eh? Yes. Without proof. Without checking. Like, okay, God is light, but nobody see any light. Nobody see God. God is love. We don't feel any love from Him, because we don't even know God. For example, like that, yeah? So even though there are a lot of evidence in the Bible or Buddhist scripture saying that Buddha has light around them, for example, Buddha nature is in you, God is in you, and Buddha nature we know is light, and nobody see nothing. Just listening, and then just continue whatever tradition that you happen to chance upon. And I said the blind lead the blind, and then, forever it's like that. And when somebody come along and say, I tell you what, I show you what you were reading there, and they will think, not possible. In my tradition, there's no such thing. The tradition has been passed on ever since my great-great-great-grandfather. It cannot be wrong. And you just came along today and you say, you can prove it? No, not possible. Yeah? It's like that. It's a sad story, sad affair, but it is true in this. When the prophet was alive, they didn't have that much big temple anyway. Most of the prophet don't ever have anything. Mostly don't have. Jesus walked bare feet, Buddha go beg for alms, Mohammed running away all the time, running from persecution. All the Sikh masters, same. And any other master that I know of, even. So, just like that. So, mostly in every tradition, there's not many people who understand the truth. Even though it is right in their religious writing. Yes, he say everything in there. But they don't take time to study it. They don't take time to question it. Even it say in the Bible, you have to eat vegetarian. Yeah? Don't be even among the meat eater and wine drinkers even. Not be among them even. Not to talk about you yourself eat it. Nobody question that. In Italy they have that kind of pig delight mushroom, remember? Truffle, yes. It's hidden underground. And the pig always dig it, and eat it. And if people even in Italy, the famous region who have truffle, they use a pig to go and sniff so that they know where the mushroom is. These are very expensive mushroom and they're delicious, like a truffle, right? They are rare, that's why not every of you know. I just want you to know that it exists. It still exists, and people still use pigs, to go to sniff the mushroom, and when they sniff it, they dig it with their feet, and then the people go after it and dig the mushroom out and sell it. They're very expensive. You can't find them just anywhere. Just in good class restaurant they have. And they give it just a little bit, They slide it very thin, like a tissue paper thin. Not like me, The mushroom is about, the size of a fist. And then either black or white. There are two kinds of this mushroom. I ate them both, so I know. Delicious, delicious. And they just scrub with it just a little bit, very thin or very, very fine, like powder, and they mix it with some risotto, rice, or they just put a little bit on top for decoration only. The smell is delicious, very fragrant. You would never eat anything like that. Ordinary mushroom never tastes like that. So the Buddha ate that. Of course, he was offered that, as delicacy. Buddha had a lot of disciples when he was alive. So, of course, when they have something rare, maybe from foreign or in India, probably they have it also. They call it pig's delight or pig's feet. Because of that story, because of the pigs who be able to sniff that and dig it out for people. Yes. Sometimes the pig dig already and then the people go get it. So they call it pig feet, because it's under the feet of the pig and they dig it out. So the Buddha, poor Buddha, do not taste any pork, but ate the big pig feet. Oh, dear God. And Jesus had to eat fish. from all things. He has to eat the fish. And you see, Prophet Muhammad always tell people to eat vegetarian. We can find the evidence everywhere in the Quran. He even tell his cousin not to eat it. Ali, please don't eat that. Don't eat the animals, because the animal quality will come within you. Don't eat that, don't eat that. Even that. But now, people don't question that. So it takes a really sincere mind to question the right and the wrong. You have to be a little smart and take a little time, no matter how busy you are. You have to take time to understand the teaching of the old prophets, of the old enlightened masters. Otherwise, we just follow. We don't know anything. And at the end of our life, although we are very, very devout Christian or devout Buddhist, and we truly wanted to know Buddha nature, and we truly want to be one with God, but we wasted all our human life doing nothing, finding nothing. Yeah? And then we have to be reborn again. That's that. Because our quest is not quenched. We will have to be reborn again. That's the nature of our soul, the quest, until we find it. That's the purpose of our evolution. So if we didn't find it in this lifetime, we have to come back again. That is for sure. The soul will not rest until find the truth and be one with God or become one with Buddha nature again. That's it. Okay, I hope you find. Now you know, huh? Yeah. Traditions. We have to respect tradition and follow, but only what is good. Yeah? What is detrimental, we have to question. Why? Okay? Good, of course, we don't question. Not good, we have to question. Sometimes bad translation. Sometimes the people who don't understand, who taught us wrong also. Especially spiritual matter is not like mathematics, 2 and 2 make 4. Something like that. So we have to always question. Okay? That's what we have the mind for. That's what we have the brain for, right? Okay. Okay, any question? Comment? No? That's it? Tell me.
In the church that I grew up in, there was a lot of concern about abortion.
Yes.
And that touched people very deeply.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I've talked to others about vegetarianism and why that's important.
Yeah.
And that's something, that they don't seem to be able to make the connection to.
The same.
Although they're, really touched about abortion. And so sometimes I wonder, how I could make that connection.
Tell them the same. If you don't kill animal, why kill your own?
Yeah.
If you're vegetarian, then you're vegetarian, right? Killing is no good, in any case. There's no excuse for anything. If you stop eating animal because you don't want killing, just tell them the commandment, thou shalt not kill. If you go to the church, just one commandment, that's all. There's no need explaining nothing. Right?
Yeah.
I think I'm going, okay?